Okay, so the Turkey-Georgia match just finished, and oh my goodness, it was so good. Like, both teams put their whole heart into it, and it was so incredible, and I was rooting for Georgia. There at the end, they really put it all in the line. And the score line does not reflect the effort that they put into it. And it's unfortunate that that happens quite frequently, but it is what it is. Okay, so update. I know it doesn't look, well, it's not a lot, actually, to tell the truth. It's just that much. So in today, I've gone from there, though, to there. And each row gets larger. Or longer, rather. I have, I think, 9 more repeats. 8 or 9 more repeats to do. So, I'm gonna miss working with this stitch, but, you know, we must move on, do more stitches, do different types, but I could see this being a really beautiful type of shawl or even like a shirt pattern with this kind of a cool stitch. The whole way, the whole thing, not changing part way up. I think it would be really cool. So I'm not a pattern designer, will never be a pattern designer, but sorry, it's something I might keep in mind for the future. Like imagine like a black yarn and then like a brilliant, vibrant pops for the contrast color. That would be super cool. Anyways, so let's talk about Turkey versus Georgia. My first comment is a note of disapproval of the Turkish fans who were booing over the Georgian anthem. I always find that kind of a behavior on the fans' parts to be disappointing, disrespectful, and I don't like it. What is really cool for Georgia is that this is their first major tournament debut. They've never qualified for Euros before. They've never qualified for World Cup. And given that, like, they did really good. Like, honestly, they really did. It was a good game. In the 25th minute, Mert Mulder opened up the score for Turkey with a beautiful goal from the edge of the box. It was really amazing. As I was still writing my notes regarding that, so about a minute 40 max later, a different goal was ruled offsides for Turkey. I didn't catch the player that had scored that, but it was ruled offsides. And when the video graphic came back, it was by like this much of one, like it was one toe, like not one toe, but just like the top part of the foot, of one foot past the other. Sometimes I think I understand the point of offsides, but I think that with the technology, we've taken it way too literally. I mean, the purpose of it was so that you couldn't have opposition players sitting back behind the defenders the whole game waiting for balls to just be poked over. But now with technology, we're able to pinpoint the accuracy of it, and it's just honestly out of control. But I mean, I was still rooting for Georgia, so I was okay with Turkey not taking a 2-0 lead. Just 6 minutes after that, Georges Mikatudzi, I don't know, these Georgian names are very difficult. Very difficult. Anyways, he scored for Georgia, making it 1-1. My note here is that it was an excellent first half with both teams having chances to score. It seemed even. sorry, the play seemed really even to me. The commentators did say that they felt like Turkey was just a nudge above Georgia, but they felt even then that it was pretty even. In the 65th minute, Arda Güler, who is only 19 years old, scored with a beautiful shot from distance. It was an amazing goal and possibly one of the goals of the tournaments, but there have been so many amazing goals. And then at the very end of the game, it was such a heartbreak for Georgia, and this is where the scoreline is not going to reflect Georgia's heart and spirit and what they put into this game. So Georgia won a corner, which means that the Turkish players put it out on their half of the field behind the goal. So Georgia won a corner, and they sent all of their players forward, including the goalkeeper. It was in the dying moments of the game. There was like 6 minutes of added time. This was around 4 minutes into that, so there's only a couple minutes left, a minute or two. They knew they needed a goal to equalize to get a point out of this match. So they sent everyone forward, and teams will do this as a last-ditch effort. When they'll send their goalkeepers forward. Neuer's gone forward for Germany several times in dying minutes. I don't think they ever actually score. Like, I don't know why they do this, but they do. And they had several, because there was 3 corners from this whole situation, and several really good chances. And on Turkey's behalf, their defenders defended really well against this, against these. And on the 3rd corner, the ball came to a Turkish player, like, I think it just came off a Georgian player and landed at the feet of a Turkish player. And he was able to sprint across the field to the open open Georgia net, because they did not leave a single player behind, and score a goal. And to show you just the heart that this Georgia team was going for at the end. Even then, when, like, we had passed the 6 minutes, it was like now 6.5 minutes, and even knowing that there was not a chance in whatever that they could score and equalize the game, you still had 2 Georgian players who sprinted their hearts out in an attempt to try to stop that 3rd goal. So it's really unfortunate. Unfortunately, it probably is going to mess with their chances to even have a hope of getting out of this group, because in the end, the 4 third-place teams moving forward, goal differential could be a huge part of deciding who moves forward and who ends up going back home. And that's not even saying that Georgia could make it to 3rd place necessarily, but they really needed a point out of this. And so it was so heartbreaking. And I knew, because I knew the scoreline, as soon as I saw the blue goalkeeping outfit in that box, I was like, oh my gosh, no, this is how it's gonna go down. And it was breaking my heart already. And it was so ridiculous, because I knew the score. I knew that they were gonna lose. And I was just still trying to tell the keeper, go back, go back. And it's like, it's because of things like this that you're like, how many goalkeepers have actually gone and scored? But it's just that last ditch hope that this time you'll be the lucky one. And so I get it. When Georgia played, in Turkey too, they played like this was a knockout stage game instead of just the first game of the group stages. So hats off to them. Massive respect to Georgia, especially because Turkey were by and far away the favorites for this match, And Georgia didn't show that at all. They were like, we're here to play, and we're going to give it our all. And that was amazing. Anyways, it is 2 a.m. Shocker, shocker. And part of me is like, watch the Portugal game, because Copa America starts tomorrow. Oh, and I have not done any editing at all. And I've not drawn a thing, my brackets for the Copa America like I have done for the Euros, so I still need to do that. The first Copa America game, and there's only one tomorrow, starts at 4 p.m. my time. So if I get up at 6 to watch the first game, then I watch the next 2 games. Depending on how much time is in between games, I could possibly even fit in the Portugal game in between 2 games. Like half, and then the other half. Like that. I don't know. I want to get caught up. It's so hard. And I need to do all the editing. Anyways, I think I do need to go get a little bit of sleep though. So I will be back. Actually, no, yes, I will stop this. Then I will post my game predictions, and then I will come back and do the Portugal and fit it in here and try to fit some editing and at least try to get one up. We'll see. Okay, talk to you guys later. Bye. Okay, I just finished Portugal versus Czechia, yes. I'm sorry, when a country changes their name, it just becomes difficult. You have to start questioning everything. Like, am I saying it right? Are they called Czechs still, or are they called Czechians? I don't know. These are the things I've been wondering the whole game. So, let's see. This is the last game of day 1, match day 1. So, which again spreads multiple days. And it was an okay game. Their defense really put up a good fight, and I thought that a draw would have been the most fair result. It did come down to the very last couple of minutes of the game, which is always kind of fun and interesting. But anyways, so I have a couple of interesting little tidbits that I hope I remember at the end because I did not write them down. So let's see. Okay, in the 31st minute, there was a brilliant save from the Czech goalkeeper to stop Ronaldo's effort on goal. This keeper made several really good saves. The goalkeepers have been doing pretty well this tournament, which is actually also interesting because this is also the most goals that have been scored on a match day 1 in like a long time, like 38, 37, I don't know, something in the 30s. But so yeah, it's been lots of goals scored, but there's also been a ton of goal saving, so that's always really cool. In the 38th minute, a Portuguese player got a yellow for diving. So diving is when you basically, in case anyone doesn't know, you like fake an injury or fake that you were shoved or things like that. Like you over dramatize it. And I just love that he got a yellow for that because I hate diving so much. And he did it like right outside of the Czechian box. And so he was clearly trying to get a kick, like not a penalty kick, what is it called? A free kick. Right outside the box to put him in a good goal scoring opportunity. And so I'm glad that just like failed for him. So then in the 61st minute, Lucas Provad scored against, and this is against the run of play for Czechia, and it was their first shot on target. So 61 minutes into the match, and this is their first shot on target. That's just crazy. And by that point in the second half, Portugal were playing much better, and so it really was against the run of play. Not what was expected. Sorry, I can see my glasses being crooked. It's anyways. Then in the 69th minute, there was a really unfortunate own goal where the Portuguese player kicked the ball. So, okay, first of all, let's set the scene. It is raining buckets down. Like, the ball is slippery. The gloves of the goalkeeper are slippery. Everything's slippery. So let's set the scene like that. So a Portuguese player kicks the ball towards the goal. The goalkeeper stops it, but it's everything's too wet to like keep a hold of the ball. So it bounces off of his gloves, unfortunately right onto the legs of one of his players, and the ball bounces back into the goal. So it was a really unfortunate own goal. There was nothing that either that player or the goalkeeper could have done to stop it. It was too wet and slippery for him to keep a hold of that ball. He stopped the initial shot, and it's unfortunate that his player was right there who had no way of seeing the ball coming to be able to get out the way, much less direct where it went, and the goalkeeper had no way to stop that ball from coming back. So it was just all around really, really unfortunate. So unfortunately, Robin Arnuk made it 1-1 tied game at that point. In the 86th minute, there was a goal ruled offsides for Portugal. I don't remember if that was a first or second goal ruled offsides. I think it was a first, but I could be wrong about that. Then around the 89th minute, they made like 3 or 4 subs, Portugal, to clearly try to get more attacking players on. It was in their game plan to win this game. They'd kind of already marked it in their plans that this game had to be won. And so they put it all out there, and that worked, because within 111 seconds of those changes, Francesco Conceição, definitely said that wrong, scored for Portugal, making it 2-1. And here are where the interesting tidbits about this particular player comes in. Okay, this is, I believe, a 21-year-old player. His father was also a Portuguese player, like a big-time Portuguese player, where on that day, 24 years prior, he scored a hat trick, I think also in the Euros, which is really cool. And his son plays for the club that he coaches. I think they said Porto. So that's just all around really cool for him. I think that was also his first goal for Portugal that he'd ever scored. So, congratulations to that player. I was low-key rooting for Czechia, but I'm not. It doesn't really upset me that Portugal won. If they had won more convincingly, it might have been more upsetting, but it just wasn't as convincing as one of the favorites I thought would make it, or be. Anyways, all around, this first match day 1 matches were all so good. I really loved all of them. And I can't wait to see what all is in store for match day 2. I have watched 2 of the matches, so I still have 1 more to watch. Albania versus Croatia. And once I watch that, I'm caught up on all the matches, and then I can do some editing and hopefully stop being so far behind. So I will chat with you all later. I'm gonna go watch that match now, and then I'm gonna get to do some editing work. So I'm not gonna show you my craft because where I'm at is gonna be ahead of where it will be then in tomorrow's video. So I'll keep the progress for tomorrow. Okay. So talk to y'all later. Bye. Okay, friends, I am here for my first day of match day 2 predictions. And I will admit, I went through and I changed some predictions from what I had previously had after seeing the first set of matches from match day 1. So, Croatia versus Albania. Initially, I had predicted 2-1 for Croatia, but after having watched the Croatia match and the Albania match, I changed it to a 0-1 prediction for Albania. So I really went out there because it is not a popular prediction. They don't even show the percentage of people who predicted that. It is such a low prediction. Let's see. Well, whatever. We're putting it all out there. And then to just go all the way extra out there in another scoreline that no one predicted here in the popular predictions, I predicted a 4-0 for Germany. That is probably overly optimistic. I will not be wearing my Germany jersey, as I have mentioned before. I think it's cursed. So maybe I'll wear a Bayern Munich situation. We'll see. We'll see what I show up in. And then for the third and final match of the day, I predicted Scotland 2, Switzerland 1, which again was not one of the popular predictions. So all 3 of my matches for tomorrow, I did not pick the popular prediction. I am still hopeful for Scotland. I would love to see them in second place. Switzerland did have a good game though, so we will see what happens. Anyways, that is all for tonight. I will come back where I will hopefully finish this stitch tomorrow and maybe even get to start the lace bits. So have a great rest of your day, and I will chat with y'all later. Bye.